Three, two, one. Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Niall O'Connell. In this video, we're going to be discussing if, after last night's victory against Josh Taylor, if Jack Catterall can finally win a world title. Niall, Jack Catterall really should still be undefeated. The 99% of the world population would say. Um, Obviously the Josh Taylor trilogy will be an option for him, and some people might want to see that fight, some people might not. But we're here to discuss how he would get on against a couple of the current world champions at 140. There's look, it's a stacked division, isn't it? Obviously, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. I don't know if you want to count Ryan Garcia or not, but he's kind of a name in the division. Jack Catterall, like he's also in a position where he's ranked highly in all four governing bodies actually. So it'll be interesting to see what his next move is. We're going to get right into it, and we're going to just focus on a couple of the world champions, the fights that we kind of think are a bit more likely. Subriel Matias, the Puerto Rican, he's got that fantastic KO record. He's fighting Liam Paro on a Matchroom show on the 15th of June, so he's not definitely going to win that fight. Let's be honest. I imagine he'll be the favorite, but it's not an easy fight for him. Jack Catterall against Matias. Two quite different styles. But it's a fight that we possibly could see before the end of the year. Thoughts on this one, Niall?
I really like this fight, to be honest with you. As you mentioned there, it's such a fascinating clash of styles. You have the kind of slick back foot boxing of Catterall and the raw aggression and power of Matias. So I think it'll be a really fascinating clash. I'd be well up for seeing that. As you say, Liam Paro, who I also like, it's a tough fight there. So who knows who's going to kind of come through that. I think Paro could give Matias real problems. I just think if it comes down to it and they do fight, I think Matias might be just a bit too powerful for him. I could see it going similar kind of to this fight with Taylor in terms of I could see Catterall starting well, boxing beautifully, but if Matias had Jack Catterall as kind of tired and as hurt as Josh Taylor did, I don't think Matias would let Catterall off the hook. I really don't. I think he'd put him away, to be honest with you. But yeah, really intriguing clash of styles there. Matias for me is one of the most underrated fighters in the world at the minute, to be honest. And Catterall is creeping his way up there as well, to be honest with you. I hope he gets the credit he deserves after tonight. But if Matias comes through Paro, yeah, I'd love to see that fight. I really would.
Yeah, of course. I think this fight would be kind of it's the two fights in the division no one really wants to fight. Obviously, Matias
Yeah.
has got that fantastic power, and Catterall look extremely slippery, awkward. Um, and yeah, look, I think it would be actually for me, this is the fight I would like to see if we were in the power to kind of pick which fight. But we'll see. And obviously this is a bit of a strange one because in a couple of weeks, Matias might not be world champion again. So we might be talking about Jack
Yeah.
Catterall against Liam Paro. It is an interesting one because um Jack Catterall's obviously a matchroom fighter, as is Matias. So you've got to think that this is a fight that could be made um later in the year, but we shall see. A bit more. I'm more interested to get your opinion on this one, Niall. Teofimo Lopez, who of course is fighting Steve Claggett at the end of June. He's surely going to be a massive favorite in that fight. However, Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, is the most hot and cold fighter at world level. The Teofimo Lopez who kind of beat Josh Taylor, of course, looked fantastic, but Teofimo Lopez obviously has lost to George Kambosos Jr. Had a close fight against Sandor Martin, had a close fight against Jermaine Ortiz in his last fight. The most hot and cold fighter in world boxing, in my opinion. How would this fight play out in your opinion? Jack Catterall against Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, this is really fascinating. And for the exact reasons you said, it's all about Teofimo Lopez here. Um, he just he when he's expected to win, he stinks the place out. When he's kind of in a tough fight, he looks phenomenal. He looks outstanding. He's one of the weirdest fighters in the world. For this one, like I could see, like Teofimo Lopez would open as a huge favourite, I'm guessing, against Jack Catterall. Well, huge might be a stretch, but a big favourite against Catterall, and rightly so, really. On paper, Lopez should kind of comfortably beat Catterall. But if this fight was to happen, I could see a scenario of Catterall just frustrating the life out of him, with his kind of back foot boxing and his jab. And I could see it being a real scrappy fight and Teofimo Lopez underwhelming. And I could see a robbery at the end of that. I could see kind of Jack Catterall going out to America, Vegas, wherever it might be, and Teofimo Lopez stinking the place out. Catterall boxing really well, conservatively but well, and being kind of shafted on the decision. I really could. I think that's the kind of it's the perfect recipe for it with Catterall's style and Teofimo Lopez's kind of mentality and his approach to fights that he should win. So I think that'd be fascinating. I don't think it'd be entertaining, to be honest with you, but I think it would be kind of really interesting, and I could see a robbery there. I really could. And
Yeah.
I know it's an early call, but I could see it playing out like that.
Yeah, we shall see. All right then. We don't know what's going to happen with Jack Catterall next, but we are here speculating. I will ask you the question now in terms of not what you want to happen, but what you think will happen. But I think first, yeah, like my questions are to you: will we see the trilogy with Josh Taylor, yes or no? And if no, will we see Jack Catterall fight for a world title? I'm going to say in the next 12 months, not necessarily next, but the next 12 months. What are your final thoughts?
I'm gonna say on the trilogy, I'm gonna kind of rule with my heart more than my head and say I hope it doesn't happen, and I don't think it will happen now. We discussed on another video that I said I think it's time for both men to move on. Because I think Catterall's earned it now, to be honest. Not that it was a bad fight tonight, but Catterall has earned a big opportunity. And I do think he will fight for a world title. You mentioned earlier himself and Matias are the two men that nobody really wants to fight, so they won't be queuing up to fight Jack Catterall. But you also mentioned with them being both matchroom fighters, I could see that fight happening next. Of course, Matias has to get through Paro, which is going to be really tough, and I can't
Yeah.
wait for that fight. But if he does, I think that does make the most sense considering they're both matchroom fighters. So I hope for Catterall's sake, I really do hope he gets a big fight in the next 12 months. I really do.
Yeah, and look, he deserves it as well. Jack
Yeah,
Catterall should still be undefeated. He's really has beaten Josh Taylor twice. Really, he should have already kind of not only be a world champion, but now he really kind of arguably should have fought for a world title since that Josh Taylor defeat. Let's not forget that fight was what two months and 2 years and 3 months ago. That fight was a long time ago,
yeah,
and it's been a frustrating period for Jack Catterall. So I really hope he pushes on from tonight, and kind of
yeah,
achieves the things that he's capable of because he's clearly a fantastic fighter. I think he's definitely definitely top 10 kind of British fighters, I would say, and quite possibly top five to be honest. He was really impressive against Josh Taylor in the rematch. Now we'll leave
yeah.
things there. Please let us know your thoughts on what you think will happen, on what you think Jack Catterall will do next. Yeah, leave your comments in the box below. Now, thank you for your time, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you. Take care.